Deep, savoury flavours with gentle, warming spice. This is perfect for a cold winter's day. Here's my version of gai pat king, or Thai chicken stir-fry with ginger. Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of What Wednesdays, and Happy New Year to y'all. So we are going to be making a chicken stir-fry with mushrooms, okay, specifically wood ear mushrooms, which I will need to soak right now. I just remembered. Let's do it. Right, so really essential for gai pat king, which is what we're doing here. You need to have your wood ear mushrooms. These are just kind of, well, wood ear fungus mushrooms, sometimes they're called. Nice and dried like that, really hard and rigid. You need to soak them. Hot water or cold, doesn't really matter. Hot just speeds up the process, but it shouldn't take more than a few minutes. Let it just soak and steep and do its thing, and we'll come back to it and check in a bit, okay? For the actual stir fry, we need to make up a sauce, so super easy. You are just going to need a little bit of, if you can get it, some Golden Mountain seasoning sauce. Yummy, yummy. About a couple of tablespoons, or a couple of teaspoons rather, of that, okay? A little bit of Thai black soy sauce here. It is a little bit thicker than your usual Chinese dark soy sauce, but you know what? Very similar. So if you don't have Thai black soy sauce, just go with a regular dark soy sauce, absolutely fine. Here I've got some Thai oyster sauce as well. And again, if you have regular oyster sauce, just use regular oyster sauce. It's not that big of a deal if you don't have Thai style ones, okay? A little bit of sugar just to balance, because we have added quite a bit of salty sort of sauces in there. And then obviously, because it's Thai, a bit of fish sauce for that saltiness. Again, more saltiness, yum, yum, yum. And also umami. It's starting to kind of come together really nicely. Oh, and the last thing that I'm going to get in here is some daojiu. Daojiu, basically, it's kind of like a fermented soybean that's been mashed up really nice and fine. It literally kind of looks like a kind of a creamy sort of a paste. Very salty, savory, umami, all of the above. You can use Korean doenjang as a substitute if you wanted to, or Japanese miso. Again, they're kind of fairly similar, but yeah, just see what's available out there. Otherwise, daojiu is traditionally or classically what's used in this dish. So that can all go in, and then we're just going to do a bit of a mixing job here. And that's literally it. So a lot of flavors. When you taste it, it just kind of is really robust and really sort of strong. But you need that because this is all of the flavor that's going into our stir fry, okay? Next up, let's prep some veggies. For this dish, super easy, not a lot of prep to sort of get on with, but we do need to kind of work with about half an onion, again, depending on how many you're cooking this for. I'm just gonna very thinly slice this onion down, choppity chop chop, here we go. Just turning the onion every now and then, just so that it's a lot more stable. It's sitting on a nice flat base. And when it comes to the last bit here, you really just have to make an informed decision as an adult. Are you gonna risk losing your fingers on New Year's Day? I think not for me, okay? So onions done. Next up, we've got some peppers. With the red pepper, just same thing, just going to slice it down nice and thin or chunky. It's all up to you. You are the chef after all. Now with this, I like to just open up my pepper just like that. Get rid of that core there. I'm just going to maybe just get them into smaller chunks, and then from here, just cut them into strips. And then straight onto my plate here, I'm just going to assemble my little wok clock here. So wok clock, again, just very easy. You just want to place all of your ingredients in neat piles and keep them all separate. So you kind of build up a sequence of things that go into the wok as you're stir frying. I've got some garlic here. Probably too many cloves, but you know what? Who cares? I'm not meeting anyone for drinks later on. It is New Year's Day, so don't really care. Once you've got the skins off, just very quickly, or just not very quickly, slice down your garlic. Everyone works at a different speed. You don't have to hurry this. It's okay. Right, so garlic onto the plate as well. And you can't really do this dish without any ginger, okay? This is super important. There is a bit of a Chinese influence for this dish, so I'm just gonna take the skins off. With the ginger, I'm just going to very, very thinly get them down into a julienne, just thinly shredded, so that it kind of gets interspersed into within that stir fry. So just making them into nice thin slices like that. Yeah, just really kind of taking your time with it, because you want this nice and fine and thin, as thin as you can get it. That can just go to the side, and I'm just going to carry on and make lots and lots of julienne ginger. And with the spring onions, we're just going to get rid of this root, and then we're just going to treat them like a vegetable, just kind of cutting them into nice kind of, I'd say maybe 2-inch chunks. And just like that. And now we're just going to make a really quick paste for the stir fry, kind of like something aromatic, with some coriander over here. I'm literally just going to cut them into nice chunky bits, just like that. And I've also got some leftover gingery bits from earlier. There they are. And then finally, we also have some whole white peppercorns here. So your typical kind of aromatic base here. And literally it's just a matter of getting all of these things in. So I usually kind of like to start with the peppercorns here because they're quite hard. So I just want to make sure they get ground up really nice and fine. Then followed by my ginger. Just going to really bash them down. I can start to see kind of a paste starting to form, and then finally the coriander goes in. Right, so then what you do is once you've got that nice kind of rough paste like that, that is ready, okay? It doesn't have to be super fine, doesn't have to be super pureed, but what you're looking for is just all of the aromatics starting to smell really, really nice. And then it's time to get cracking with the stir fry. Wok nice and dry and hot, hot, hot. I'm just gonna get a little of oil in there. So something like a vegetable oil, sunflower oil usually works very well for this. And then in go the paste. And you need to be very quick with this, okay? It's a stir fry, so time is of the essence here. So just scrambling this or just kind of moving this about a little bit. Give it time to release all of the flavors. I can definitely smell the white peppercorn here. Make sure nothing is sticking to your wok. Right, so next up, chicken goes in. So chicken thighs that we're using today, just because it's more flavorful. Just gonna mix that up. So I've got some color on the chicken thighs now. I'm just gonna let that continue to cook. In the meantime, I'm going to get my julienne ginger in there. So you can see quite a lot of that ginger going in. Then followed by also the onions. And also the red peppers to go in. And now with all of these vegetables in there, I can really kind of turn the heat up and get it really nice and hot because there's going to be less risk of it burning because vegetables are mostly water. Just giving it a really good mix here. And also have the wood ear mushrooms here. So they've really kind of swollen up and kind of puffed up quite a bit. Quite large here, so I'm just going to tear them up by hand and then get them into the stir fry. Let's move them around a little bit. This is such an easy stir fry. So once your mushrooms are in, garlic can go in. And followed also by the chunky spring onions. And then we're just going to stir fry until everything is cooked, particularly the chicken. That's the most important thing, obviously, because nobody needs raw chicken in their lives. Really easy way to tell with your chicken is just maybe cut into it, just kind of check. And the inside of it should not be raw or anything like that. Last couple of things we need to do, obviously finish off with the stir fry sauce that we made earlier. Just drizzle that all over Now this is the flavor bomb, so you need to be quite generous with this, okay? We are then just gonna mix this up. And this is also when you can kind of have a look at your chicken and your dish, and if you find that if it's a little bit light in color, you can still go in with a little bit more of the dark soy sauce, just to make it a little bit darker. And also in terms of the consistency of the dish, I typically like it a little bit more runny, so just gonna add a little bit of water in there so that I have a little bit more of a sauce for this dish. But again, that is just entirely up to you. You decide how runny or how thick you want your sauce to be, okay? And then with that, it literally is just ready to get plated up. I'm just gonna tuck into it. So, lovely bit of juicy chicken. Who doesn't like juicy chicken here? Sometimes it's quite nice to just pair it with a very simple plate or a bowl of rice, but my rice is still cooking, so I'm just gonna eat it because I'm hungry. And it's New Year's Day and no one's here except, well, you. Here goes. Juicy chicken on New Year's Day. Maybe with, I don't know, some bubbly, some Prosecco, some champagne. Try it out, have fun. It's super easy recipe. Great if you're, you know, not feeling up for like a really big fancy meal. Super easy. Great for kids as well. Just all-rounder, good dish.